impetus of love. People talk about me, baby.
Welcome everybody to Off the Cuff. I am Adam Banks. Thank you for listening to the show. That song is a classic. The Joker, Steve Miller Band and Spun. We're broadcasting live from the Belmont studio. I have Amber Hall with me. Amber Hall Turner with me.
I'm gonna say you're gonna have to drop this Hall, man.
I know, like it's just so.
Amber Hall is so circa 2014.
It is circa 2014. It actually began in 1988 is when he was born.
Geez,
yes, and
yes.
we've known each other for 29 years. I don't know how long have we known each other.
I met you when we were in third grade.
So how old were we?
Somebody do the math for us. Third grade, how old were we?
If I'm 29 now, and we were in
my
third
God,
grade.
we're like educated professionals.
That would have been like 23, I think. 23 years. 23 years.
Yeah, I'd say that's probably
I say about 23 years. So, and we always get together and we talk about like old school memories, like grade school memories. My friend Chad was listening to the show the other day. He was listening to the episode that you were on, and he said, man, that girl that you have on, Amber, she's pretty funny. I was like, man, she's one of the funniest people I've ever met. I was like, it's just so natural. He's like, is that a good friend from high school? I said, buddy, good friend from high school, good friend from middle school, good friend from grade school. I mean,
what is that? Bible study?
Study.
What is that? Vacation Bible school?
Did we go to Vacation Bible School together?
We did go to Vacation Bible School together.
You're kidding me.
You went 1 year to Topmost.
Yes, Topmost Baptist.
We went together.
I had no idea you went to Topmost Bible School.
I didn't go to the Bible school. Went to Vacation Bible School because of the Kool-Aid and the Oreos.
We had it in that church. You know, they got rid of that pastor that was there.
I know. I'm not gonna comment on this. Just got so much family ties.
You were involved with that pastor and with the family.
Well, I mean that entire area is my family.
Okay.
Literally everybody around the vicinity of the church is my family.
Well, it's nice to have you back. You've had a busy weekend. You was at Lexington's local event. They call it Scarefest. Tell us about it. And you met some interesting people.
I met a lot of interesting people.
I gotta just say, you met Freddy Krueger.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Two really good friends of mine, one volunteers, and his wife had actually set up a booth this year, and I just absolutely love his wife. We just had such a good weekend together.
Yeah.
And she just invited me. She threw it out there, she didn't invite me specifically, but she threw it out there asking if anybody would want to help her volunteer.
Yeah.
And I hadn't got to hang out with her in a little bit, so I was like, I'm gonna go anyway. So
yeah.
I think I'll say yeah.
Yeah, so you went there, you worked, and you met a lot of people. A lot of people showed up to this, right?
There were so many people. I mean, we'll have to pull an accurate count when they, let the numbers out. But there was a lot of people there.
How much money does something like that make, though?
Oh my goodness! I would say that I really hope that they made a lot of money this year, because there's been a lot of comments back and forth from people about how this year was different because it is owned by a new couple now, not the same couple who'd run it for 9 years. That was I said that very country just then.
You did, but so you met Freddy Krueger.
Well, okay, yes, Robert Englund was there. We got to see him.
Did that feel weird, like being next to him?
Well,
like he was the guy who murdered people in their nightmares with their big long claws.
No, yes, that is very true, and I was very grateful just to be under the same roof with this man. But I have to tell you, I love the Nightmare on Elm Street series. I have them on VHS. I have them on DVD, individual, and then I also got the box DVD set. So,
a true Nightmare on Elm Street fan.
There is not a piece of Freddy trivia that you could give me that I already don't know. So, and that's all because I watched that extra DVD that came in the box set. Told you all the backstory of everything.
So when you met him, was it just surreal? It had to be surreal.
The person that I met that it was so surreal for me had nothing to do with him. Mm-hmm. And it was a lady by the name of Lisa Wilcox. So, Lisa, I'm going to make sure you get this. She played in part 4 and 5. She is the second reoccurring female character, let me say that.
In what movie?
In Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh, okay.
Heather Langenkamp starred in 3 of them.
Yeah.
And Lisa Wilcox starred in 2.
Uh-huh.
And her character in Nightmare 4 was, that of a very, frail girl, and as her friends were getting killed by Freddy, she was getting their powers.
Okay.
So by the end of this movie, you've got this badass, hot-ass chick. And I've loved her ever since I was...
And you got to meet her?
I got to meet her.
That's pretty cool.
And meeting her was the most surreal.
Really?
But, well, actually, I got to meet a lot of the cast of Nightmare on Elm Street, and like I said, I've got I've got all the videos, and it's kind of like, my mom made the joke yesterday, or Friday, actually, when I was walking in. She goes, well, you make sure to tell all those Freddy people that, I probably owe them money. And I'm thinking, what you owe money for? She said, well, because they babysit you when you's growing up. And that's so true.
That is true. They did, yeah, because you watched the movies and it kept you occupied.
It kept me occupied.
That is so funny. See, I went to Scarefest with you years ago, and I met the Candyman. For me, that was surreal because he was the guy on Final Destination, Death, and I would ask him about the movie, and he would just be like, "You gotta watch it." And it was just surreal that he was there, and I was talking to the Candyman. Like I was, like with my own human eyes looking at the Candyman right in front of me. And then I met the woman from Cujo that was stuck in the car with her son, and she's the mom from E.T.
Got to see her again this weekend.
Yes. How was that?
She is just a lovely lady.
She's nice.
She's a lovely lady.
She's very nice. What's her name?
Dee Wallace.
Dee Wallace, yes.
Dee Wallace.
Make sure Dee gets this.
Well, I'm also going to make sure that Ricky Dean Logan gets this.
Do they have Twitter?
Yes.
Okay,
I actually just started following Lisa.
Make sure they get it.
I will.
Yeah.
But Lisa Wilcox, Ricky Dean Logan.
Dia, I loved you in Cujo when you was stuck in that car. The way that you kind of were just in that movie by yourself almost throughout it was just impressive back in that time. She carried that movie a lot by herself.
Because it all had to be just expression.
Yes, and she was just so good at it. She should have won an Oscar for it. She was great. I loved her in E.T. She was great in Cujo. But, so, Scarefest was great. Amber, a lot has been happening in the NCAA. A lot has been going on in sports altogether. So, one, just to drop the bomb, Rick Pitino has been fired from the University of Louisville.
I just want to say I don't watch much football.
Yeah. Yeah. That story in itself, we'll have to tell that one at the end of the show.
Yes, Pitino is fired.
Yeah, he's
gone.
gone.
Now, the last I heard, he was suspended without pay, which we all know equivalates to you just don't need to come back.
Yeah. That means he's fired. They're just being very politically correct because of his contract. What happened is Pitino, the story, just to give a little background information, is the Adidas brand was giving money to universities, and the university officials, like assistant coaches, were giving hundreds of thousands of dollars to students to come to their school, rep Adidas, and then when they get to the league, rep Adidas. So it was all a big scandal, and it was illegal. FBI gets involved, not the NCAA, the FBI gets in there, finds out that several schools are involved in this, Louisville being one of them. Rick Pitino was on probation because of the whole Katina Powell hooker ordeal. So the athletic department just said, okay, well, Tom Jurich, the athletic director, said, if he goes, I go. And then the president come in and said, Tom Jurich said, first thing we want you to do is fire Pitino. And he said, no. If he goes, I go. And he said, okay, get out. You're fired. And then Pitino comes in. They said he leaves his car running when he pulls up to the AD's office or to the president's office. He just knows it's going to be a short meeting, 5-10 minutes. He walks in. They said he was in there 5-6 minutes and walks out. He had been let go. He had been fired. So Louisville, it's bad. It's going to be bad for the sport because if they get in there and they find that other schools are involved in this, their head coaches are fired.
Yep.
Those schools are going to go on the death penalty, meaning they're not going to be able to play. That's just going to be
on live television, isn't it?
Yeah.
They can still play, but they can't play on live television.
Is that what it is?
I think that's what it is because
Wow.
I believe that UK went through a similar scandal in 80
with Eddie Sutton.
Yes, like 84, 85.
Yeah, they got the death penalty.
Yep, but
Yes.
Obviously, a couple of years later, that was overturned. Thankfully.
Yeah, so
but yeah, they cannot be televised. So you can play all you want, but then ain't nobody watching you.
Could you imagine if UK, if Duke, if North Carolina, if
this
Syracuse was
city would
all
crumble.
on probation? This city would go under without UK athletics. It would.
Mm-hmm.
Lexington revolves around UK athletics.
Lexington revolves around UK athletics and Rupp Arena in general, which I know, Rupp Arena does a lot of other things, but Rupp Arena is basketball.
It is UK basketball. And this city gets, like, when I go to the games, it's always, you'll see 50, 60,000 people out there. That's a lot of people in a city going to a game. And this city just lights up. The whole city just lights up. Like, people out flying their flags, wearing their gear. If you go to a restaurant, everybody's decked out in UK stuff. It's big for the city.
I'm decked out in UK
You're decked
stuff.
out in UK stuff. I'm not decked out in UK stuff, so... Yeah, so it would crumble. It really would. If UK could not play basketball again, Calipari, could you imagine if he got fired?
I think that would be his third strike and he'd be out. Because, after he left Memphis, bad blood.
Yeah.
If something happens in Kentucky, even badder blood. Taylor Swift wouldn't be able to write a song about how bad that's going to be for him.
I think if John Calipari was doing something illegal, they would have already found it. I think he is somebody, the NCAA, the FBI, they're wanting to see mess up because he
is so popular.
Yes.
He owns this town.
He does.
Not just this town.
He owns the state.
He owns this state.
Yeah.
Because regardless of if you are a Cardinals fan, you still know about Calipari.
Everybody does across the state. John Calipari is the UK head basketball coach. He's the president of UK. He's the governor of Kentucky. He's the mayor of Lexington. He is all of those things wrapped into one because of just how popular he is. So they want to see him fail. So I think they keep a microscope under people like him.
Probably.
People like Coach K at Duke. So if they were involved, we would already know that by now.
Probably.
Yeah, so...
But he's probably got a legal team so deep that, it'd take us 20 years to dig a hole around it to get under.
Louisville hired a new head coach. I don't know if you saw, David Padgett is his name.
Where did he come from?
He played for Patino. He was at Louisville. He is Scott Padgett's brother.
Okay.
You remember Scott Padgett played for UK? Yes. Yeah. So they hired a new guy. They hired him on a 6-month contract. It's a guy just to get in there and just kind of work around this mess, and then they're going to look for somebody to hire.
Yeah.
So it's probably a smart move. Tom Crean was being considered. I think I would have been aggressive and hired Tom Crean, paid him a big salary to come here, but I don't think Louisville wanted to do that. They just wanted to get somebody in there, fix the mess.
Let the smoke die. That's probably what they need right now. They don't need someone who is, already established, because they don't want that same mental of, okay, I'm with Louisville now, I've got sponsors now, and they're going to pay this amount of money, so let me go ahead and, just keep a big head about it.
Yes. But yeah, so a lot of things going on there in college athletics, but a lot of things going on in the NFL too. It's crazy world of sports.
Oh my goodness.
Players that won't kneel during the national anthem, I have a problem with it. I think that if you get to be in the country that allows you to play your sport, make the money that you make, you should respect your country's anthem and kneel when the flag is there. Or I'm sorry,
regardless
or
of how you feel.
Yeah, not kneel. I think you should stand there and respect your flag. And they don't. It really boggles my mind how disrespectful it is.
My argument to a few people, because, I try to stay out of controversial topics one-on-one with people, because I tend to just give in and walk away eventually. But, somebody was kind of arguing this, and I said, think of it this way. I said, it's just like your mommy and daddy. Mommy and daddy being the U.S. If mommy and daddy tell you to do something, and you do it right, and you're respectful about it, guess what you get? You get money. Mm-hmm. You go in there and you act like a son of a bitch, guess what you ain't going to get?
Yeah.
You ain't going to get no money.
Well, Donald Trump was very controversial about it. He said
the right thing.
He said the right thing. He said, if you don't want to respect our flag, get off the field, you're fired.
He did not even say it like in such a manner that it was demanding. Because a lot of people said that, they felt as though he was demanding.
He screamed it.
Well...
He screamed it.
Very well, but he just said, if I was one of these owners and you played for me and you kneeled, you don't play for me.
He said his exact words. He was pretty aggressive. He said, get that son of a bloop off the field. You're fired. That's what he said. Now, this is coming from Donald Trump. Now, Donald Trump, I like the man because he says what he means, he says what he means. And Donald Trump also, he's not afraid to say anything. But here's what I'll say about Trump: I'm not going to hang and cling to everything he does and says.
No.
There's a lot of things I think he does is disrespectful, is wrong, is outlandish, is crazy. So I'm not like all about Trump. But I don't hate him. He's the president. I respect the office.
Yep.
And I want him to succeed because if he succeeds,
We succeed.
We succeed. We all succeed. So that's, that's something that I wanted to get across there about Trump.
I would say I would love to be his social media director. Because whoever they are witty as fuck.
They really are. I mean, because he does so many things. He needs a PR person, though, to kind of tame some of the things he says.
Now, did you not watch, the interview that he done regarding, was it North Korea? Yeah, North Korea, where he referred to Kim Jong-un as Rocket Man.
Rocket Man, yeah.
And, you can see that he goes off script.
Yeah.
Because, it takes me back to that Roseanne episode about, when Darlene's telling about Becky farting. I'd like to thank the class. And then all of a sudden from there it's, I'd like to thank the class. And fuck all you all in here. And you just see whoever is, his director of speaking just, immediately put their head down because they're like, I'm getting fired. I'm fired today.
Yeah, exactly. So Trump was very vocal about it. But the players, what do you think of it? Do you think it's disrespectful that the players do that?
Look, if we were going to sit there and judge Tim Tebow because that poor man wanted to get down and pray before he might have went out there and snapped his neck, I think that we need to judge people for not standing up. Just stand up. If you really, in all honesty, just do not respect that flag, just stand back. Don't make a scene, a spectacle about it. Get on your knee. Just stand back.
Yeah, don't be getting on your knee. Yeah, you know what? Just stand back.
Every time I wanted to, cause a scene because one of them got a new Bugatti and some rims, nobody would really care.
Exactly. They're such babies. They all are going home to their mansions, their beautiful cars, furniture, everything surrounded them. And they're just so disrespectful to the country. Go over to Bangladesh and try to make that money.
Exactly.
Go over to Saudi Arabia and try to play football.
Break your knee real quick while you're out there and then tell me how much money you got in 5 years, MC Hammer.
Exactly.
Because that's what you're going to look like.
That's what you're going to look like and be like. So, I mean, that's absolutely the truth. So, the controversy, though, with that is out of control. And I think
who was the guy, he was from the Seahawks.
Richard Sherman?
No, his last name starts with a K.
Oh, cannot think of who it is. Why? What about him?
He's the one who originally decided that, at first he just didn't do anything. Mm-hmm. And he kind of stepped back, and people noticed. And then the next time he started to kneel. Oh my goodness, what is his name? I can't think of it. I can't think of his name. But he started to kneel, and that's where the problem originated.
It's gotten so big, like the NFL commissioner's coming out and kneeling with them.
Well,
did you see that?
And, that's the problem.
Did you see that?
I did not.
Yeah, the NFL commissioner's coming out and kneeling with them now.
But
the coaches are kneeling with them.
Let's all look back. Let's look to a famous family, and I think it might actually be our mutual, most loved famous family, and that's going to be the McMahons.
The McMahons.
Linda, Vince,
yeah.
Stephanie.
Yeah.
What was the son's name? Shane.
Yeah. Why?
If you look at the way Vince McMahon ran things,
yeah,
you weren't disrespectful. Now, you could take a chair upside his head.
Yeah.
But when it come to certain things, you weren't disrespectful.
No.
Don't disrespect the flag.
No.
How many times did you ever see Stone Cold Steve Austin take a knee?
Never.
You know what he done? He opened 2 beers. One for the flag, one for him.
He would. And, I like that about Vince McMahon, his characters, his wrestlers. They were never disrespectful. And if they would have been, Vince McMahon wouldn't have stood for it.
You're fired.
You're fired. Vince McMahon wouldn't allow it. You never seen that controversy with Vince. He always kept things under control, Mr. McMahon.
He did. I told you it would be our favorite.
It is my favorite family. You're going to get me on a little spin on Vince McMahon. I just want
to let you all know that Adam actually has an alter ego from 6th grade. That would be Adam Snake Eyes Banks. Yeah. He was going to be a pro wrestler.
I was. Wrestling was going to be my career. And I didn't really want to be in the ring, like technical wrestling. I wanted to be just like a character on television.
I think you wanted to be Jerry Lawler. Was that his name, Jerry Lawler?
Yeah, I wanted to be like an announcer or something, or like a backstage announcer or something like that. But Vince McMahon, I just want to say, it's going to be a sad day when Vince McMahon passes away because he is such an innovator. And he kept everything. He had a few scandals himself, the steroid scandal and the sexual harassment scandal in the WWE. But I think that as far as like what you said about how issues like this never got out of control in his program, I remember when 9/11 happened, the next night they had a recording of SmackDown, and they showed the recording, and they opened it up with all the superstars out. All of the superstars out. Stone Cold, The Rock, Undertaker, all of them. Vince McMahon sitting there in the front with his wife and kids, and they had the flag, and they had the ring announcer sing. She sang the national anthem. And I just think, that is just the Vince McMahon. Mm-hmm. That's the kind of things that he did. And on Election Day, I remember because he had Monday Night Raw, and Election Day's on Tuesday, he would come out on Monday Night Raw and talk about the importance of voting. And he'd make it like a wrestling skit of it, but he would talk about the importance of it. So, yeah, good family to choose. You got me off on a little spin there, Vince McMahon. Got me too excited.
Well, I knew as soon as I said the McMahons that your little wheels would start spinning.
Yeah, you did. Well, Amber, it's always fun to have you on the show, and I love this song, Take the Money and Run.
I do like that song.
You like it? It's great. Ooh, take the money and run. You like that song?
I do like that song.
It's always fun to have you on the show. This is the 3rd episode. I mean, what is this becoming? Is this becoming a thing? I think maybe we should take this to the next level.
I think we should.
Maybe we should. The studio's coming along. Ooh, if we get that Howard Stern studio. The couch,
the seats,
the mics,
the headsets.
I see a birth of a beautiful, beautiful relationship right here. Just the next step of our relationship. Friends for what we come up with 23 years today.
23 years.
23 years. Is that a fact? Can somebody please tell us how long we've known each other?
I'm pretty sure. Let's see. How would I have been in the 3rd grade?
It'd be 21 years. 21 years. So we've known each other for 21 years. And now we're taking it to the next level.
22 years.
22 years.
22
we're taking
years.
it to the next level.
Oh my gosh, we've known each other for 22 years.
Doing a podcast. Off the cuff.
We've always done weird things together, but
Always.
I think that this is going to be the one thing we might get right.
This might get right. And this might go to the next level. Have you been posting it?
I have.
You haven't.
I have.
Did you share it?
Do you know how many? Do you want to know why she called? Because she's wondering about the podcast.
Really?
I let everybody know about the podcast.
Your mom a while ago?
My mother.
Yeah.
That was not my mother.
I'd love to have your mom on the show.
No.
That'd be excellent.
I don't think so.
Why?
I think that would be a terrible idea.
Okay.
I think that was a bad idea on your behalf.
That would be wonderful. Time to have her on the show. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to end the show with Fleetwood Mac, Go Dust Woman. Thank you for listening to the show. Ever, always a pleasure to have you. We'll see you in the next episode.